Yes, indeed. Give it up for the DJs we selected today, the one and only Summer Friends, DJ Summer Friends. That's Martin Too Smooth and Home Alone. You can follow them at My Summer Friends. All right. I'm really excited about our next guest, although we do have the legendary Naughty by Nature coming up in about 10 minutes or so. I learned a lot when I went to Ghana. I haven't been able to stop talking about it, right, Heather B? I've just been Ghana day in and day night, day in and day out.
Very true.
Ghana, they call me Ganye now, because I had such a spiritual awakening in Ghana, and I was able to meet a lot of people from different places, and I had an intellectual enlightenment in Ghana as well. I had a cultural breakthrough in Ghana. And I made a lot of great new friends. I even learned a lot about the profession that I do. There was moments there as a journalist or a person who works in the journalist field that I got reinvigorated about what it is that we do here on a day-to-day basis. And it was not only because I was able to see different things and have different kind of conversations that led to different questions, but I was actually inspired by a young lady that I saw working in Ghana with the mic, a camera, and an audio recording device. And I just looked at this young lady working. I caught her in my eye line, and I was like, yo, she is out here hustling. Like to be a journalist, man, you got to have a lot of gall. You know, you got to step into people's faces. You got to be prepared at all times. You got to be equipped. You have to be well studied. And probably one of the most efficient journalists I've seen was in Ghana.
Okay.
And I went to this event where Chance the Rapper was interviewing Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle was interviewing Chance the Rapper. Michael Blackson was there, Toby and Wigway, Fat. Everybody was there. And we're all hanging out. And I was like, wow, this is a great place to grab some content. I wonder if anybody's doing that. And sure enough, man, I saw this 10-year-old superstar in the corner of the stage just snatching up people and putting a mic in front of their face. And I watched her. And one of the things I was taught as a journalist is to make sure, radio at least, make sure you enter the break. Make sure you end the break the way you enter it, with that kind of energy. And I saw her really captivating people with her energy. And I went up to her, and her mom, who's also her manager, her father, who was behind the camera. I mean, this was a family outfit,
As
Tracy.
it should be.
Yeah, a family outfit. That was like, hey, would you mind interviewing with our daughter? And I was like, that's your daughter? They was like, yes. I said, surely I'll do it. I had to wait in line, Mike Muse. So many people was lined up to interview with this young lady. Oh, my God. All right, I saw it. And I got a chance to talk with her. And I'm going to play a clip from one of the interviews that we did where she had a chance to go one-on-one with me. It was at an event at the concert that Chance the Rapper threw, and we were backstage, and I saw her just talking with a lot of different people. And let's play a clip from that. You got that? So how you liking the event? How you like the festival?
It's crazy. Like I just told Chance, I want to say thank you so much. It was wonderful. Yeah. But I want to ask you some questions because I'm the one that's supposed to be interviewing here. Okay, I mean, I just admire what you do. So I want to know, how's the experience been here at the Black Star Line Festival?
It's been enlightening. It's been a game changer for me. It's for a lifetime I've been wanting to come to Ghana and make a pilgrimage to Africa. And I think for a lot of us in the black community in the States, I think it's a necessary journey to make, to fully understand who we are and where we came from.
That voice on the other end of that interview goes by the name of Samara Osai Asari. Give her a big round of applause. She's here with us today.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome to the show, Samara.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yo.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, indeed. Look at that energy.
I love it. It's amazing.
Well, how old were you when you learned how to talk? So how old are you? 10 years old, right?
I'm 10 years old.
You live in Ghana?
Yes, I live in Ghana.
But what's your connection to the States?
Well, I was born and raised in the States. But we moved to Ghana because my dad's family is Ghanaian and my mother wanted to immerse us more in the culture. That's why we moved there.
Okay. What age did you move to Ghana?
I moved in 2020.
Okay.
So you've been living there for 2 years. It got its ups and downs, but it's lovely. I love it.
What are the ups?
The ups. basically like the food,
Okay.
especially the restaurants like Ensunam, which is a seafood and fish restaurant. Yaya La Parisienne, it's a French infusion and Ghanaian cuisine. Pomona, which is an Italian restaurant, and Bandai, which is an Asian and Mediterranean restaurant. I love to try different foods. I love just exploring different cultures. Yep. I love the people. They're very respectful. The schools, they teach you to respect your elders. I mean, that's not something you get, for me at least, in a lot of other schools in the U.S. Like, the one I went to here, it didn't teach you that.
Yeah.
But it came to, like, when I went to the school in Ghana, they're like, respect your elders. So much so that our motto is excellence, respect, and responsibility.
Wow. And why is that important to you, Samara? Respecting elders.
If you don't respect your elders, it's basically like you don't respect yourself or you don't even respect your parents because they're your elders. So you have to respect everybody or else you're not respecting yourself in the end.
Wow, like that. Now, how do we? Are we saying your name correctly?
Yes, Samara. Sorry.
Okay, great. Because you corrected me over in Ghana a couple of times. So I remember this. I learned so much from you. Education. So, what is schooling like? How is it different, other than respecting your elders? Like the actual scholastic part of it. What is it like?
Well, at least for my school, I'm under a British curriculum. And the school I used to go to here in New York, it was an American straight.
Yeah.
We have to write with blue pens, and we have to take checkpoints. And it's like almost like a standard state test. But this one gets sent to the UK. You never get your papers back. You only get your marks. And then the highest mark you can get is a 6. So in my class, we're preparing for it, and it's a really big test. It decides, like how our teacher said, it decides what type of job you're going to get and if you're good enough for the next grade, which is why it's so important to us. Maybe how the entire school is set up. We have assembly every Monday and Friday, and then sometimes they even have to do marching because we're getting closer to like our marching drills for PE, and it's like, and if you get to the older side, you have like 14 different subjects.
Yeah.
So that's a bit different.
14. Wow. So how are you doing with the language? Have you learned to speak the language? What's the native tongue called in Ghana?
It's Tree, but in our class or even in our school, we don't learn that. We learn French.
What in the geopolitical?
Yeah.
What is, why? Do you know why? Why that is?
I don't know. It's
Damn,
like
France.
Well, why they don't get their papers back? I'm still stuck on that. What are they doing with the papers?
So it seems like
know.
it's a British educational system and then the father's here is French a native language to Ghana?
It's actually not. It's actually English. They were colonized by the British, but
So why do you think French is?
I think maybe the neighboring countries, they're all francophone countries. So it's like if you want to go across the border to another particular country, you have that native French tongue.
Not native. Yeah, just
No.
stand. Yeah.
Where the papers at?
Yeah, ain't no native.
What happened
Ain't
with
no
the
native
paperwork?
French
That
tongue.
is-
That's weird. Huh?
Where the
Okay.
tests at, though? Why they?
Why they throwing
Somebody
the
answer that question for me.
What they do with your
Why
tests?
they keeping them third graders paperwork?
I don't know. I guess that they do it to, mark other kids and compare it. But you never get your papers back. They say that they burn it.
Nah.
Nah.
That's big data. They selling it to somebody.
Such is life.
They're selling it to somebody. I can see that. All
Yo,
right.
to use it against you later on. You see, the third grade, you couldn't spell cat. They just they keep using it against people.
So, how did you discover broadcast journalism?
Well, I always wanted to be a journalist since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
I came home from my kindergarten graduation and said to my parents, I want to interview people. I want to have my own YouTube channel. I want to learn about the who, what, when, where, why, and how. In fact, they're the very people I interviewed on that day. And from then on, I knew I wanted to. So fast forward 2 years later, we moved to Ghana, and I had a homework assignment to do a podcast. Many people decided to do like your daily routines and everything, but I decided to interview because that's my passion. I had 2 episodes of it. One episode I was interviewing my mom and asking her about how she finds her experience in Ghana. And then another one I interviewed my uncle who was an entrepreneur. A few weeks later after that, I ended up hearing that my uncle was talking to my parents about he was talking to someone from the TV station and now work at TV3 about getting another person to go on the new Kids News show.
Okay.
They had 2 co-hosts, but they just needed 1 more to round out the show, and he suggested me. So I did the reel he asked. My parents talked it over. A few weeks later, my parents and I went to go discuss with the producers of the show, and they ended up liking me. They signed the contract over. We talked about it. The rest is history.
The rest is history. I like that, Samara. What that contract look like? Did you read the contract?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I believe that if you read the contract, you know what's going on, so you don't have to get finagled out of it.
Okay. So Kids Arena, is that the name of the show?
Yes, it's the name of the show.
That's huge in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? And then go ahead, speak on it.
So Kids Arena is a kids show that's for kids, by kids, and all about kids. We discuss about education, information, and entertainment. For the education, we invite people that study in robotics. For example, we had kids come on to program their robots to do many different things, like draw shapes or sizes of anything. And for the information, we have topics about, let's say, hygiene, how to prepare for exams, how to stay safe on the internet, because we want kids to have a lot of knowledge about these type of things. And for the entertainment, we highlight kids that are rappers, singers, dancers, musicians, poets, authors, because we want to inspire kids and say, you can do anything you want to as long as it's good.
I keep looking at her and I'm like,
Great. You
are
forget
you
she's 10?
35?
That's
That's what I'm wondering, Samara. I'm like, if we wanted to create another you, right? Talk about your upbringing and like how your parents raised you, because you also have like a very extensive vocabulary at your age, and I don't think it's just school. What was your school like inside the home from your parents?
My parents love to teach us. My parents are amazing writers. They love to read. They love to teach us a lot. We're a family that loves each other. We spend nights playing cards, or if not, our parents teach us new words. My mom especially was extensive on the vocabulary because she wanted me to learn more, because she saw my potential as being a great student. Because before I could read, I was, I think, in kindergarten. I didn't really know how to read. So my dad taught me the basics on how to read, and then eventually my mom saw that I was getting better at it. So she wanted to extend my vocabulary and my comprehension. So she introduced me to the book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Yes.
It's by far my favorite book and author.
At 10 years old, you read The Alchemist?
Yes.
55-year-old rappers
Oh my
are reading it for the
God.
first time now.
I love books. So she introduced it to me actually when I was in first grade. And my vocabulary was extended, but I just need help with the comprehension.
Yeah.
So later on, fast forward, I'm 10 years old now, and I asked her, can I read it again? So she let me read it, and it's a beautiful book. I was able to not only extend my comprehension, but my vocabulary again. And now I look back at it, I want to say thank you to my parents so much, because they had increased everything. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now, because they helped me when I felt like, oh man, I'm tired. They were like, Samara, you can do it. I know you can, because they saw my potential. So without them, without my parents, without my grandmother, without any of my family members that have been around me since I was born, I wouldn't be here to this day. I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys. So I got to give a big thank you to them.
Yeah, man.
So for kids your age, because you grew up in the States, I can say to you, for some kids, if you grow up in Brooklyn and you have to move to like the Bronx, they're devastated. I'm going to miss my friends. You're taking me to another world, but you literally moved to another world. Were you afraid? Was it easy to adapt? Were you scared you're going to miss your friends? Were they going to like you in school?
I had those fears, and I was a little worried, because we're not talking about moving from
Brooklyn to
Brazil. Yeah, we're talking about moving from the United States to an entire different continent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm so scared, because I didn't know anything about it. But something in me said, Samara, you got to do it. And I, for one, like taking risks. Although, as long as I can be safe at it, I like taking risks.
Wow, Samara.
Yo.
When my mom said it, I was like, okay, I understand, because my dad's side of the family is Ghanaian, and she wanted to immerse us more in the culture, like I said earlier. So when we went there, we didn't take no trips, no visits. We went in there cold turkey.
Went straight there.
It was a bit different too because where we have rainy season and dry season, no winter, no fall, no spring.
Right.
In fact, all we have is hot and hotter.
That's it.
Hot and hotter.
I miss the snow
winter,
so much.
Yeah.
And I like rolling around in the snow. You can't walk around like a winter fashionista anymore.
Right.
Because you'll be sweating all the way.
You can't do that though, Samara. No,
Yo.
winter fashionista
Yeah.
stuff.
Summer is on,
Risks.
the summer is on steroids.
Yeah.
It's like summer all year long. The time zone is different. You're 5 hours ahead.
Yeah.
And the mosquitoes. Oof.
Yeah, the mosquitoes.
They
in
are
Ghana.
vicious. It's like you're going to war with them.
Wow.
Grab your repellent and grab it quick.
Yeah.
Because they will race after you if they like to smell your blood.
Love it. Love it.
Fascinating.
Yo,
Yeah.
Samara is reading comprehension in action. And so parents are listening out there. This is a lesson, the importance of reading to your kids. We always talk about the importance of being able to read at the end of third grade, going into your fourth grade. And if you're not able to read at the fourth grade level by the time you enter, if you haven't comprehended and mastered reading by the end of third grade, going into fourth grade, you're in trouble and you're in difficulty. You are comprehension. And so what I mean by that, folks, is Samara, when you broke down, when Sway asked you, talk to us about your talk show, the way you broke down what the talk show was in digestible bites, and you gave the context of it, you gave examples, that is what comprehension is. And that is the benefit of reading in order to get the comprehension, to take something, distill it down, to be able to explain it and talk about it because you've mastered it. Congratulations to you.
Thank
Not
you.
only is that a good journalist, which is most journalists can't do what you just did, mind you.
Thank you.
But also, two, is good comprehension. And so, audience, you can have many Samaras too if you just read to your children and use words. We don't use full sentences with our children, particularly black and brown kids. We do Google Gaga, you do Google. I mean, no, say the word.
Say the word.
And over, and you too could have a Samara. You're such a good role model for
Thank
so
you.
Shout
many
out to her
kids.
parents.
And
Yes.
parents.
Well, the parents are standing
Yes.
right here. I needed to see. I met them before, but I still don't believe it. You know, introduce yourselves real quick. I want to make sure people know your name.
All right, so I'm Samara's daddy. My name is Kweku Osai-Asari, and my wife is...
Mama Jura Stacy Osai-Asari.
And you're from where?
So I'm from the Bronx, and this one here.
Yeah, we both grew up in the Bronx. So.
The Boogie Down?
Yeah.
That's why you stand like that? Oh, yeah, Sway.
50 years of hip hop, Sway. Throw it up.
What made y'all decide to move to Ghana? Like,
That's a long story. That's
Okay.
a good one. That's a good one, though.
oh, it's a good one.
Yeah,
Quick,
she
real
did.
quick.
Okay, so I'll condense it. For me, I looked at the demographics of what we're surrounded by in the Bronx. And I saw like the crime rates going up, and I was like, access is key. Like if brown kids have access to stuff, imagine the possibilities. So long story short, there was something in me, I can't really articulate it. It was just like, get up and go. I had to trust God because I was like, I've never been here before. I don't know what this is.
Wow.
But I was like, but if I can quiet the voices in my head and not tell anybody, we moved literally in silence. I literally did it in about 8 months. Yeah. We quietly packed our 3 children, put them over there. I'll just say this for those who are listening, obedience to God is so imperative. I can't explain it no better than that. When you get up and do something that he, she, or it, or universe, or however you relate to it, tells you to do something and you're in alignment with it, even if it sounds scary and crazy and you don't have all the parts to it, just go with it. Because when we went there, everything fell in Samara's lap. No lie, I can't make it up. Her uncle did the podcast with her, was moved by it, brought it to somebody at TV3. They were like, oh, we need somebody for a kid show. She would be perfect. She got it on the spot. They honed her talents. Next thing I know, shout out to her auntie, Jackie. I know you're listening. I know you're proud. You're probably crying. I'm about to cry and mess my makeup up. But Jackie being Lecrae's publicist, that's her aunt.
Oh,
That's his big
wow.
sister.
Wow.
So what she did was she was like, okay, so this is what Samara's doing. Let me throw her in the Headies.
Which is the Nigerian
award show.
Music Award.
We didn't know nothing about it. Never heard of it. She was like, yo, you got 2 hours to get ready. I'm throwing her in. She got credentials. I was like, what's this? So she was like, sink or swim. So I take her there. She does all these interviews. She did Jacquees. She did a whole bunch. Lynn Whitfield. Everybody. They loved her. Jacob Lattimore. He saw her again in Ghana.
Toby and Wigwe and Fat.
She saw them twice. I
know they love
so
you.
she got everybody. So the whole point is that when we moved in direct obedience and we did what we were supposed to do, you now see that it wasn't really for me and Kweku, it was for her. And she might open doors for her brothers and every other kid listening and watching.
That's sorry family, y'all. Osaya, sorry family. Thank you.
Very well
Thank
said.
you. Thank you. Your auntie and I communicated quite often. All right, and she hooked me back up with Lecrae, so thank you. We've been communicating ever since. So listen, if people want to reach you, citizens, follow her. Have your kids follow her.
Yeah.
How can they follow you?
You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, almost everything. You can follow me on Samatime, SAMATIME, then the number 12.
Summertime 12. That's what you were saying to me in Ghana. I could not
Is
click.
that the year you were born? 2012. When were you born?
2012. That's
Okay.
what it was.
Summertime.
Yeah.
SAMATIME 12, right? I got to put you to work. We got the legendary group Naughty by Nature coming up.
They're right outside.
Citizens, follow her at Summertime 12. SAMATIME 12. She's one of ours. We got to support her.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Naughty by Nature is celebrating 30 years of 1993 album.
Goodness.
We're going to come back with Naughty by Nature. I'm opening up the phone lines to true hip-hop heads.
Only.
Yes, true hip-hop heads only. Y'all claim it. You want to say something else?
I want to say something. I want to ask you guys questions because I also want to interview. And one day, we got to have the AC and Quasi show.
Okay.
Okay. AC and Kwabena.
Oh, Kwabena. Okay, yeah, that's my Ghanaian.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
revealing
You saw
something?
that? You saw that? We got to do something. We'll do
Breaking
something.
news.
That's my word. We'll do
So I
something
want
in
to
the
ask you
future.
guys some questions.
Well, we can't do it now. We got a guest coming up. I love
Okay.
how you about to take over the show, though.
Ready.
Samara in the morning, y'all. All right, but
She
hang
can talk
out.
to Naughty by
I'm gonna
Nature.
let you ask them some questions. All right.
Okay.
Naughty by Nature are up next. The phone lines are open. 888-742-3345. Let's celebrate their